What's up everybody, this is Furious Francis over here from PlayerEssence.com, and today I'm going to be discussing Reggie Fils-Aime, Nintendo of America's President and CEO's comments on the PS4 and Xbox One's launch lineups, calling them meh. Now, I can understand why people are initially upset with this news, or as far as what he said. You know, a lot of people are looking forward to the PS4 and Xbox One, and there are some cool launch titles, but at the same time, we have to look back and see where Reggie's comments are coming from. Imagine if you are a president of a company and two other companies are constantly bashing your products, or basically taking little digs at your products for the past couple years, you know, and finally you've brought up your product to where it's actually respectable and you've got some momentum, you know, and somebody asks you about the competition. Are you gonna say anything nice? No, you're probably not. Now some of you guys are probably thinking, what are you talking about? You know, Sony and Microsoft don't say anything bad about Nintendo. Well, that is not true. That is not true at all. So the first example that we're going to look at here is what Sony said. Sony said right here, Sony, anything Wii U can do, Vita and PS3 can do. Now this is on the site Tech Radar. Definitely check it out when you get a chance. A lot of cool articles on there. But I mean, look at when this article was released. This was September 21st of 2012, so before the Wii U even launched, Sony was bashing the Wii U and saying, hey, well, anything it can do, we can do too. Yet they haven't played the software, they don't know what's coming up, you know, they don't even have any software that emulated even at that time, like stuff like Zombie U or even the Wonderful 101 or other games. So Sony was already taking digs at Nintendo before they even launched their system. I mean, at least Reggie Fils-Aime, at least he waited, saw what the lineups were, saw their lineup and said, hey, well, this is what we feel. You know, we feel our lineup stronger, and, you know, there's a lot of ports, you know, as far as that goes. And remember, when the Wii U first launched, Reggie never said that they had just such an amazing launch lineup and people were taking digs at their launch lineup, and, you know, he just kind of said, hey, well, this is what we've got Mario, we've got certain things, but he never outright claimed that this is the best, you know, lineup ever. And he's always said that they need to bring out more content, and he said that back in an interview a while ago, that they need to dramatically, you know, improve the pace of their Wii U content, and that's what they're doing. So he's just giving his opinion. But not only did Sony say this, basically, before the Wii U even launched, Sony even said this. So this was Sony's CEO, Jack Tretton. Sony's CEO refers to Nintendo's handhelds as babysitting tools. Our view of the Game Boy experience is that it's a great babysitting tool, something young kids do on airplanes, but no self-respecting 20-something is going to be sitting on an airplane with one of those. He's too old for that. So he plays into this whole stupid new school gamer, if it's not, you know, bloody, mature, that means adults can't play that they're too good for that Sony's products are basically for adults and Nintendo's products are for little kids, you know, and that's disrespectful, and that's offending to a lot of people who like Nintendo's content. Like I myself, I like my 3DS, I play it somewhere else, I'm not ashamed to show that. In the video below, basically what describes this attitude or mentality of the new school gamers, I'm going to have a link to Archimedes123's video on Kiddy versus Mature. Make sure you watch that after you're done watching this. But anyway, that's pretty much bashing, you know, bashing Nintendo. And, you know, I mean, Reggie hears these things. Reggie hears these things and he remembers these things. You know, so you can't sit here and get mad when, you know, they have the leg up and he looks at their lineup and says, meh. You know, I can't sit here and get mad at Reggie after saying that. He's been getting bullied. There's a time when you have to stand up for yourself, and I think Nintendo is definitely standing up for themselves with what they've been saying. Especially, you look at all the stuff that's been going on, what Sony's been saying about Nintendo's products. Now, let's move over to Microsoft here. So, Microsoft says Smartglass is better than the Wii U gamepad. You know, then they go off about, you know, in other cases we do want to have cross-screen sharing. This is where I believe the approach Smartglass is actually better, because what we're doing is embracing it as truly a supporting screen. I mean, I don't even know that sentence or that statement doesn't even make sense hardly. I mean, I'll zoom in here a bit so you guys can see it. That barely even makes sense. I mean, What does Microsoft doesn't even support Smartglass themselves. Like, how many games do you know that use Smartglass? Very innovative, or like the Wonderful 101, or like Nintendo Land, or like anything. There's no buttons on the touch screens that they're using. So there's two controllers. I mean, the fact that Microsoft would even say something like this, and like I said, this was in June. This was in June 7th of 2012, so before the Wii U is even launched, you have them bashing Nintendo. Before the Wii U's even launched, before they've even gotten a chance to check out the games, to even see the potential of the system, NFC technology, all sorts of stuff that they didn't even know about. Games like the Wonderful 101 will never come on Smartglass. There's no buttons. Before they even knew what they were talking about, there's no IR, so being able to snipe with the controller, you can't do that. Before they even knew, they were bashing them. Nintendo, like I said, Nintendo hears these things. Nintendo hears these things, and now that Reggie has looked at what they've got, the competition, and says, man, everybody who's mad or everybody who's bashing Reggie or bashing Nintendo for this needs to stop, because you need to look back and see what Microsoft and Sony were saying about Nintendo stuff. Look, if anybody did this to you guys, you'd be doing the same thing. If somebody talks bad about you over and over and you keep your mouth shut and then they keep on talking bad about you, if you have a leg up on them, or let's say you got better at something and you have a leg up on them, you should let them know. You should say something. At first, I was upset that Nintendo, said this, because I thought maybe it'd be a bad spin or bad PR. But then after looking and hearing what some of my users were saying, I was like, wait a minute. Sony and Microsoft, they've been bashing Nintendo for the past couple years now. They've been bashing Nintendo's products, whether it comes from the 3DS, to the DS, to the Wii, to the Wii U. They've been talking smack about Nintendo's products all the time. At least Reggie had the patience to wait to see what the competition was offering before he said meh. And just like the Wii U's launch, lineup, there's a lot of ports on there. So I have no problem with him saying that, and none of you guys should either. Anyway, and like I said, this goes both ways. If Nintendo was bashing Microsoft and Sony over and over, and then they come out and say something, I would have no problem with it either. But the fact that Microsoft and Sony have been, bashing Nintendo when it comes to certain things, and even before the Wii U was even launched, bashing them, I have no problem with Nintendo saying this right now. Alright, make sure you check out the description below. I will have links to all the stuff that I talked about and all the articles. Make sure you also check out our Facebook like page. When you like us on Facebook, you get all of our exclusive content sent straight to your PC, phone, or tablet. Make sure to check out playeressence.com this whole week. We got a bunch of new content going up, a lot of good stuff. So make sure you keep it locked here on our YouTube channel and on playeressence.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, and we will see you guys on playeressence.com. Peace.